Now, if you notice there, I'm not quite as tall as Dr. George, so had to do a quick adjustment. But yeah, first, before I dive in, I want to start by saying a lot of thank yous. Thank you first and foremost to my family. I see them back there in the middle. Thank you guys so much for everything you've done for me, both my parents and my siblings. It's nice graduating today alongside my brother. Thank you to the friends and classmates here that made Pitt feel like a home. I'm grateful for not only my advisor, Dr. Carestis, but also Dr. Granger, who both served as tremendous advisors and mentors as I've gone through my studies here. And thank you to all the professors, faculty, staff, Jim and Bill at CERC, as we mentioned, as well as the front office team. They've all helped so much setting up today, and really appreciate those guys. But yeah, this place really has felt like a home, and really happy to be here speaking today, so thank you guys. But congratulations, everyone. Today is a big milestone. I hope you guys at least taking time to recognize that and reflect on where you've come and where you're going. If you haven't taken a moment to reflect, please take some time this weekend and do so. I've already kind of got a jump start on that, and as I started doing that, two things kind of popped into my head. Two words kept coming up over and over, and that's family and appreciation. And so think about all the ways that your family has helped you become the amazing people you are today. For me, I think back to my mom where while my dad was at work, she stayed home and we did flashcards and worksheets, and she was patient with us, teaching all four of us boys and my younger sister how to read and write and do math and everything. And here we are as engineers, right? But one thing that always stuck out to me, Mom, that I don't think I ever really thanked you about is every time I do a worksheet, my mom would write A++++ perfect. I like the most super gold star you can get. But Mom, I'm 23 now. I think we could admit it was more probably like a D minus half the time. But yeah, so I really do appreciate that, Mom. So thank you. And then for my dad, so my dad used to coach me and Ben playing hockey growing up. And like I mentioned earlier, I'm not the biggest guy, right? I've come to terms with the fact that I'm not going to dunk one day. I fit pretty comfortably in an airplane, small people things, right? So once they added in body checking, right, when I was around 12 years old, I was probably like 4'8", 5 foot, something like that. I got tossed around a decent bit. And so the one thing my family always makes fun of me for is I came off the ice after my first game, and I got tossed around a little bit. They said, "Oh, how was it? What'd you think?" And I went, "That was not fun at all." But what they always did remind me, though, is that as long as you keep getting back up and keep going back out there and trying your best, that you're going to do great things, and that's really stuck with me. So thank you to you both. And so things like that's what kind of carries us forward, even at Pitt here, right? So whether it's you've called your parents when you've been frustrated with school, or maybe you're excited about your project or where you've gone, and they get to pretend like they know what an O1 or an O2 is, or what these other class names are. Or your friends, right? So distracting you when things are hard, or being there when things are good, like a design expo. Definitely take the time this weekend and even going forward to thank these guys, because those really do mean the world to all of us, I'm sure. Pitt ECE has really been a home to all of us, and I really do mean all of us. I'm sure you guys can relate to this. It was kind of intimidating coming here, and it seems like everyone has like a billion friends in this department. And so when you're a sophomore, you're like, I'm in here with a class of 60 people. I don't know how I'm going to make any friends. But look back now, I feel like looking around, I can tell where like half of you guys sat in the fishbowl. I know who your guys' friend groups are, right? Everyone has their routines and these little things that kind of make this place like home. There's this level of familiarity. And so the one thing that always stands out to me from my first week of sophomore year, and I know he's heard me mention this a couple times already throughout the past couple years, but Dr. Dickerson led in that class with, in engineering, it's easy to be competitive, and the job market certainly is like that. And that's fine, but in here, we're all gonna work together, and we're gonna work together towards making you all succeed. And that really has been the theme here in the Pitt department, and I've definitely been lucky to be a part of it. So I know we've all found close friends, your reliable lab partners, and for me working at CERC, Jim and Bill kind of became like some uncles to me, so really an extension of my family like that. And all you guys really do a great job helping each other every day, and it's really nice to see everyone come together. And like family, right, you get to know all the little quirks and habits that make people who they are, right? I'm sure you guys know your siblings or your parents pretty well, but now you get to recognize that you know your classmates and your teachers pretty well. For anyone that I've TA'd, and I know I ran into a couple of you guys today, you guys know I love a good Canvas announcement, so I'll hit 2 to 3 of those per day normally, just to keep you guys updated. And then looking at some of our professors here, just to put them on the spot, you know that if you're going to get an email response from Dr. Dickerson, it's probably coming at 2 a.m. before he goes to sleep. But on the contrast, Dr. Carestis is responding at 4 a.m. when he wakes up. So You know, I mean, these are the things that are really awesome about life, right? So not only here at Pitt, but in the rest of everything, you get to know these little things that, make people who they are that's beyond just the surface level interaction. So really take the time to appreciate these things that you've come to know and your friends and the people around you. And, look forward to that whenever you go, wherever you may go. And I know they wanted me to do it in 5 minutes. I don't know how I'm doing on that, but I'll start wrapping up here. So I thought of some challenges, not just for you all, but for me as well. Number one, first thing you should do when you leave here is go hug your mom, hug your dad, any of your family or friends that showed up. Just really show them that you appreciate them and take the time to be a little direct and vulnerable there. And then wherever you end up next, make it home the way that Pitt has become our home, right? Ask your coworkers, how their weekend was. Go try to learn these things about them. Go spend time outside of work and make it more of a home than just a place where you make money and build cool things. So, and the last one is actually probably the most important, in my opinion, which is to appreciate yourself. You guys are absolutely incredible. Like, I really do mean that from the bottom of my heart. Everything I've seen every student in this department do, from being classmates, being a TA, working in our resource center, you guys are just incredible. I mean, I sat through a couple thesis defenses and master's dissertations. You guys are making medical products or putting things in space, which I don't know if you guys have thought about that 4 years ago, you probably weren't thinking that you were going to do anything close to that. Right? You're probably thinking you're going to go sit in a cubicle somewhere. So, and then the undergrads especially, Expo this year was nuts. I mean, you guys were tracking satellites and doing VR control of like lab equipment. I don't know. I think you guys need to go and like pat yourselves on the back. I know when you become an engineer, you're a problem solver. And the big thing with that is you're always looking for problems. So take the time to appreciate all the good things that you've done on the contrast, right? And pick your head up and give yourself a pat on the back, because you guys really are incredible. So thank you guys for listening. Congratulations again. Good luck out there, and hail to Pitt.